Welcome to another segment of Lagos Transportation Agenda, where we discuss issues around transportation system, talking about issues, informations, and updated information in the transportation world. My name is Shaba Moses, and today we will be talking about the topic, the role of critical infrastructure in sustaining transportation in Lagos State. However, today I am not here alone, but before I bring on board my special guest, a notable statesman in the industry, let's go on this break.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road interventions to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Okokomaiko to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and LAMATA is driving it. LAMATA, keeping Lagos moving.
Welcome back. Today, like I said earlier, on this program today, I have a notable statesman who is experienced in the world of transportation and in governance generally. He's been in many top official posts, and he was a former LASMA general manager, and right here at this moment, he's holding another very top ranking position in the world of transportation. However, today he is the permanent secretary, Lagos State Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transportation. And with me, I have the person of Mr. Maruf Olawale Musa. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a very good one, a very quick, good ride in your record. Yeah, today, the topic, the role of critical infrastructure in sustaining transportation. Given how large Lagos State is, do you think critical infrastructure would play a major role in helping Lagos?
Yeah, transportation is all about infrastructure. Transportation itself is a form of infrastructure, and is the infrastructure that also drives transportation. What do I mean? The road is an infrastructure. Okay, and we also have infrastructure within infrastructure. Like when we say we have the roads, there are so many things that are attached to the roads. Like when we have our traffic lights, the curb, pedestrian bridge, gantries, they are all infrastructure. They all encompass the total transport infrastructure. That is for the road. The same thing if we go to the water, we have our jetties. On the water, we have water buoys. Everything is part of the water transport infrastructure. Apart from the boat itself, is the train itself, the rail itself is an infrastructure. That is where you have the train to move on. That's rail infrastructure. The same thing, you go to air. Talking about air, you have to have your airport, and in the airport you have other infrastructure that are embedded in that infrastructure that makes it usable. So the infrastructure itself is what drives the transportation sector. So we can't be talking about transportation without those infrastructure. There's no way you can drive your vehicle without roads. There's no way you can drive the train without the rail tracks. So the infrastructure is very, very critical to effective transportation in the state.
Yeah, that's well said. So far, so good. You've made mention of very good touching the road, the air, and the water, which are the major means of transportation. However, let me shift a bit into where I think I would like us to talk about today, given the road aspect in Lagos State. Lagos State is one of the most busiest in the whole of West Africa, and with all this infrastructure, the bridges, the stuff, and everything, but still, we can't. We still find ourselves in between traffic jam and all of that. So, do you think there are other infrastructures that should be put in place to ensure a smooth and safe passage for people?
Let's the traffic and infrastructure, there are two different things.
Okay.
When you have traffic, there are places you go, whether you like it or not, because of our population, it's very, very difficult for us not to have traffic. And our transport direction is unidirectional. What do I mean by unidirectional? Every morning, everybody heads towards a particular direction. Okay, and in the evening, we head against that direction. So because everybody is moving in one direction every morning, there's bound to be traffic jam because of the number of people. So sometimes, even when you have the infrastructure, you are still going to have those challenges. And what do we do to remove those challenges when it's on the road? What do? We provide alternative means of transportation so that not everybody will be on the road. That's why we encourage, we have all our intermodal transport system. That is, everything is linked. If when you're on the road, you can go on water. When you're on water, you can go on train. So we provide this alternative so that you hardly see traffic on water, and I've never seen traffic on rail, except maybe you have accidents or so. So the rail is always free. The road is always free. The waterways is also
smooth.
free. So what we can do is, first of all, to remove people from the road so that they use those alternatives. So and that alternative has to be enticing to the people for them to use it. So even if you provide those infrastructure, okay, and you still have those number of people on the road without providing those alternatives, there's still going to be a lot of traffic. And also, what causes traffic is because all of us, we want to ride our vehicle, okay? Everybody wants to take their vehicle to where they are going instead of using buses, instead of using trains, instead of using the waterway. That's another challenge that we have. So the infrastructure is there. Everybody moving to the island from Ikeja, for instance, wants to pass through Third Mainland Bridge. Everybody wants to carry their car. How many passenger vehicles do you have compared to the private vehicle? So if you look at the numbers, it's not very. So you have the infrastructure is already there, but you still have traffic. Then what do? Provide an alternative where people can use instead of being on the road. So I can say that yes, we are not yet there in terms of infrastructure wise. We can do better. What do I mean by we can do better? We provide buses, enough buses, so that people will be encouraged. Okay, we travel abroad. If you go to the UK, you can't enter taxi, and there are places where you go in the UK, you can't even take your car, even when you have your car, because you are going to pay congestion charge. So you avoid those areas. So the best bet is for you to take a train or you take a cab. I'm sure you won't take cab. I'm sure it's either you take train or bus. The cabs are very, very expensive. So people are encouraged to use it as an alternative rather than taking their vehicle. So when this means of transportation is very encouraging and enticing to people, people will want to drop their vehicles and use the bus, use the rail, or use the waterways. We are not yet there, okay, but we are heading towards that direction.
Okay. Yeah, it's still your program, but before we continue, let's quickly go on this break.
regard to operations of the Blue Line in particular, we all know that we have publicized that the Blue Line is going to be an electrified rail system, and with the third rail system. What that means is that the electrification will be along the track. And for us, that means that it has no tolerance. If you want to cross from one side to the other, you must use the overhead bridges. This is a necessity for all of us to understand. We have, as a government, been very responsible, and we have fenced all along the alignment for the Blue Line to ensure that people do not cross it. But what we see time and time again is that people go there and they cut the fences and they run across. This is fine until we electrify. And we need to understand that this is not acceptable. Not because Lamata is saying don't do it, but because it is a matter of life and death. It is a health and safety issue. Anywhere in the world, this is the way it functions. And if we want to develop, we need to begin to understand that this is the way we're headed for a sustainable rail system that is good for emissions. Electrified rail is the way forward. And when your rail is electrified, then we must not interface with it. So we ask this, and we ask that the people be responsible and understand that it is mandatory that nobody crosses the tracks. We bother to put pedestrian crossings, there's access for the physically challenged, and therefore we have no reason to cross the track. So we just ask that the people please respect this and respect the rails, because if we don't, we will find ourselves in very, very dire straits indeed.
Lamata, keeping Lagos moving.
Eku akete, ilé ọgbọ́n. Eku akete, ilé ọgbọ́n. Arọ́mọdé dẹ́ kó má má já o. Eku arọ́mísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́. Arọ́mọdé dẹ́ kó má má sá o. Eku arọ́mísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́.
Welcome back. It's still your program, Lagos Transportation Agenda, where we are here today talking with the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, in person of Mr. Maruf Olawale Musa. Yeah, it's been a very quick one with you, sir. You made mention of so many infrastructures in place. Do you think Lagos State still need to do more, put more infrastructures, regardless of what Lagos have on ground, to ensure a greener and eco-friendly environment for people?
Yeah, obviously, we need to do more, and we are doing more, and people will begin to see what we're doing. What's the major cost of transportation? What's that input in the transport system that makes it expensive? It's fueling, especially diesel. We all know the cost of diesel nowadays. So our buses majorly uses diesel, and we know diesel is very expensive. We just said that it has crashed, and the crash is still very, very expensive when you want to use it for transportation. So there should be an alternative, and that is what we talk about, using CNG or electricity. That we have buses using electricity, that's electrical buses. So that is the direction where we are going. We are going to have buses that use CNG. But the truth is, using CNG, that's why we are not in a rush. Like we've seen somewhere in this country, people have started saying they've started using it. But do we actually have the infrastructure on ground, okay, to manage those buses? Yes, because those are the things we need to put on ground before we start using them. One, do we have the know-how, the technological know-how? The people that will repair the vehicle when they have issues, we have to first of all start with that, train them, okay, the infrastructure on ground, okay, for those buses to work effectively. We have to put it on ground before we start deploying them. We have started the test run with our CNG. We have some buses that are currently using CNG. We are doing test run. We have a pilot pilot run. Okay. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to learn from it, and learning from it, we are going to be better, and the states will be better for it at the end of the day. So we have those alternatives that we are looking into. And when we talk about electricity, we also know that if the electrical system in the state, that is the electricity supply, is not stable, then it also means you are going to be running generator to power the vehicle.
Which
First, you
goes
want to
back
charge
to
them. It goes
diesel.
back to using this way again. So those are some of the things we have to be
Challenges.
sure that this is what we want to do. We want to look at the pros and cons before we roll it out fully, but we are on top of it.
All right. On the other side, there was something you made mention earlier. I want to go back to it. You said in the countries like UK, they have some tax you pay for using your vehicle. Do you think anywhere, so now maybe briefly, do you think anywhere it could effectively come up here?
It's not in the pipeline yet, but it's something we can look into. You know, we have to get everything right first, okay? Because the purpose of government first is not to make money, it's to serve the people, ensure that the people are comfortable, ensure that the people are safe and secure, okay? So that is not our focus. But while they are doing it, they have gotten to that stage. Okay, we are not here in that stage.
No, I didn't say the government should do it for monetary purpose.
Yeah, it's
to
at least discourage. But
yes,
for you to do that, you must provide alternatives.
Yeah, okay.
You understand? Those alternatives are not yet fully on ground. Okay, it's to force people to use those alternatives that are working, that are effective. That's why I say we are not yet there. When we get to that stage where yes, we can say yes, yeah, we are good to go. That if you are going to, I'm just saying, you are coming to Ikeja, you don't need to bring your vehicle down. There's an alternative. You can come by rail, you can come by water, you can come by our buses. Yeah, I'm sure if you from any direction,
they will be safe.
Yes, as safe and secure from any direction you want to go, and that's very, very important. From every direction, it's not like somebody is coming from the island. You now start taxing them. I also think of people coming from Alagbado, people coming from Ikorodu, people coming from Badagry. They are coming to Ikeja. Can they get here with our transport mode, all our transport mode? Is it possible for them to get there without bringing their vehicle? If it is yes, then we can go into the. We are good to go. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. In this aspect of infrastructure, do you think there are any challenges the state government is facing when it comes to infrastructural management?
Yeah, we face a lot of challenges.
Lately, I've heard about where they see some persons vandalize some part of Third Mainland Bridge.
It's not just Third Mainland Bridge, it's everywhere. Vandalization is everywhere. We will put road signs. People go and steal it. They start removing road signs. We put railings on the bridges. They start removing it. Even providing light, electricity, they start removing the cable. Vandalization is everywhere. That's a great challenge to us. We provide it, and people go and vandalize. Oh, they don't just want to use it. We put pedestrian bridge. They don't use it. We have to now force people. We start arresting people for no. In the same country, you don't do that. Why should I come and arrest you for no something that is meant to save your life, for your own security and safety? We have to go and force you to use it. We put traffic light. People don't obey it. We now have to put last month officials to start arresting people for not obeying traffic light. The traffic light is to ensure that there's no traffic. To control traffic, it's meant to control traffic so that everybody moves smoothly. But what do? We still have to go and put people there. So their vandalization are people not willing to obey rules. It's a big challenge. So those are the challenges. That vandalization is very, very critical. And whether I like it or not, so many of these infrastructure provisions require foreign inputs. We all know the cost of the dollar rate. Now, thank God, it's coming down gradually. So it means that we can do a lot of things with the current rate. But those are the challenges as a government that I think we are facing.
So are there anything on check to reduce the vandalization, if not stopped, but at least reduce?
Yeah, there are security challenges. Okay, vandalization is everywhere. Even in your house, if you are not careful, you will see people. I've seen videos of houses where these people that carry bola, what do you call it?
Yeah,
They go and remove security
scavengers.
light. They remove your security light.
They won't take gen.
They still gen. So it's not like it is peculiar to government infrastructure. It's something that abounds in the society. And what matter? Everybody has to be security conscious.
Okay.
Government cannot do it alone. Everybody is. The infrastructure is meant for the people. It's your property. It's my property. We all have to protect it together. But we are setting up our security infrastructure, okay, to tackle it deliberately. We have deliberate program to tackle it, and soon. And I'm sure you have been seeing it. RRS arresting those one, task force arresting. It's because Kai arresting is because we have been put there, but we can't be everywhere at the same time. That's why we always call on people to also be watch in some of those areas.
Yeah, that's a nice one. It's been a very smooth one with you, sir. Thank you for your time. Yeah, so far so good. You've really dished out a lot of credible and quality information. So lastly, do you have anything you would like to say to Lagosians, the public generally?
Okay, you see, I'd like to delve more on the roads, because that is where we have a lot of people. Now, the roads, it is our unifying factor. Whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, wherever you come from, you pass through the road. No matter how poor, how rich you are, we all use the roads. If you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever you are, we all use the road. That is where we all interface. It therefore means that it is our united agenda, or a united instrument. What unites us all? Because I might not pass through water. I have the choice of not going through air, but I'll use the road. And is most importantly, everybody has to be patient on the road, because of our diverse origin, our diverse culture, our diverse problem, everything. You all bring it to the road. So expect that when you're on the road, you see somebody that is angry at every time, or somebody that is depressed or whatever. So when you're on the road, please always have patience, and let us obey our traffic rules and the traffic officials on the road. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You've just heard from the permanent secretary himself. He has spoken about many things, and most especially, he expressed the need for patience, which is a key. Patience is a key in whatever you're doing, whether you're on the road, whether you're walking, regardless of your religion, your tribe, your ethnicity, and where you come from. Just be patient, because it is what is made to ensure our safety and our well-being. And on today, we'll be wrapping up on this program, Lagos Transportation Agenda. Join us same time, same station next week. I remain Shabo Moses, your humble host. Have a good day.